It's time for Dodger baseball.
What a catch by Mookie Betts. Another home run for Corey Seager. Another strikeout for Kershaw. A robbery of Tatis. Gone. Will Smith. This is what an ace looks like.
And tag out is Riley, a double play.
Dodgers have won it all in 2020.
Pure pain. The Dodgers lose the season finale, the regular season finale, to the San Francisco Giants by a score of 6-4. They had an opportunity there late to make things interesting. Mookie Betts at the plate, a called strike three that was clearly a ball against Mookie, and it was a ridiculous call. And make no mistake about it, it should have been a ball. And Tony Randazzo, he had some bad calls against the Giants. You saw earlier in the game in the fifth inning with Will Smith where he walks him in. That should have been a strike. So he was squeezing both teams. That's not why the Dodgers lost this game. But these bad umpires, these bad calls at the end of the game, it hurts Major League Baseball. It takes away from the excitement of the game. It robs fans of potential big moments. And that's why I think it's absolute trash by these umpires to blow these calls late, because it does a disservice to baseball fans. You got a nationally televised game on ESPN, two marquee franchises, the Giants versus the Dodgers, two best records in Major League Baseball going at it, and this game could have potentially gone deeper, and it could have been a more epic game, and that's why I think baseball loses, and I think that's why the fans lose. But the reason why the Dodgers lost this game is offensively. But we're going to break down all the action, but let me know down below in the comment section where you represent Dodgers Nation from tonight, how you feeling after this loss. Give me one word to describe the Dodgers-Giants series finale today. And also, I want a yes or no from you guys. Will the Dodgers still win the NL West? I want to know from you guys. They're now a game behind of the Giants in the NL West, and they got a tough week coming up. Against the a tough week coming up going to St. Louis. So we'll see what happens. I still feel confident about the Dodgers, but we got a lot to get into on this one. The Dodgers' struggles in losses, the Dodgers' inability to hit with runners in scoring position. They were atrocious with runners in scoring position in this three-game set. They were 4 for 24. They hit 166. They let 26 runners on base this series. For this series, they were 20 for 101, hit sub 200, hit 198. So the offense did not show up. We'll talk about Walker Buehler having his first real clunker of the season, but lots to get into. But why do you guys think, who deserves most of the blame for tonight's loss? I want your answers down below in the comment section. But Giants are going to clinch the NL West. Upset, bad calls sometimes go in our favor, and sometimes it doesn't. We had multiple times we could have tied the game. Yeah, the Dodgers had multiple opportunities to get back in this one throughout. I mean, you saw top of the second, runners on second and third, no outs. They scored one run in that situation. Top of the third, leadoff single by Trey Turner. Then you had the Betts. Then Muncy was out, but then Betts walked. They gave the Dodgers runners on first and second with one out, and then bases loaded, 2 outs. Will Smith, he flied to right. Top of the fifth, bases loaded, 2 outs, could only get 1 run. So they had multiple opportunities. You saw there late, Dodgers had a real chance with Jake McGee, who has been shaky of late, and unfortunately, Dodgers just couldn't come through. And they lose a tough one up in San Francisco. They had a real opportunity to get some separation going up there tied, and I would like to have that sweep and be up 3 games, but instead they leave San Francisco down a game heading to a big series in St. Louis. But here we go, the offense. We got once again, lost but comments. Dodgers just lost the division. We're only 1 game back. Anthony Keene, D-Mac, you know I try to keep positive, but this squad feels mad wild cardish to me, have all season. Yeah, I mean, I respect your take. I mean, there's certain games where, look, I mean, it depends how you look at it. I mean, when you look at this team, you say, okay, they're in the mix for best record in Major League Baseball. Then you also look at the way they lose games and when their offense just does not show up. The Dodgers are hitting 191 in losses this season. They're averaging 2.64 runs in losses compared to wins where they're averaging 6.4 runs. So the extremes with this team are very significant. I think that you just see the inconsistency. They're hitting 220 when trailing on the season. That's second to last. So this offense has just lacked the consistency to get back into games. You don't love the approach with this team. Just get on and find a way to manufacture runs. Instead, this team goes up there. You see big swings and you see big outs. And tonight, this Dodger team, look, at some time, like every team has this, this makeup where, look, we're never out of it. And yes, this Dodger team is filled with all-stars and MVPs across the board. But at some point, you just have to find a way to win these games and take control, especially when you consider you got a couple bullpen games, and they had a real opportunity with Alex Wood and Cueto being out due to the COVID issues. And the Dodgers, look, they won Saturday, and Julio Urias, he was fantastic. Dodgers got it done. But Friday, they should have won that game. And there's so many games this year the Dodgers should have won against the Giants, at least 4 or 5 games. And it's really a missed opportunity this series. But look, there's a lot of baseball. There's not a lot of baseball to be played, but there's enough. Thanks a lot, my man Brian C. hooking up with $5. We your take, heartbroken. A team still full of contradictions. Bummer outing for Buehler, but we had mad chances to win. What up, D-Mac? What up, Jesse Magladon over on YouTube? Yeah, let me do some rapid fire on your takes. You guys are lighting it up. If you're watching the show on Facebook, be sure to share the show. If you're watching on Twitter, be sure to retweet the show. And if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I know this is a tough loss. The sky isn't falling. This one definitely stings extra because of the opponent and the opportunity that the Dodgers didn't capitalize on, going up there with all that momentum, sweeping the Braves, tying the Giants in first place, and you saw they had the advantage when it comes to pitching matchups, and the Dodgers just couldn't get it done. And bottom line, the offense just laid an egg up in San Francisco for the most part, save for a couple big hits, and you got, of course, Corey Seager, who was on fire. Look, Max Muncy's struggling right now. Justin Turner, he had a hit today. He's struggling right now. Chris Taylor is really, really going through it right now. Chris Taylor is just really I think Chris Taylor might need a breather. I mean, he has been a rock for this Dodgers lineup, but at one point today, I mean, he's hitting close to 119. He's since August 1st, he's hitting just above 200 with a strikeout rate of 41%. So Chris Taylor, who's been phenomenal, a lot of talk that he was the Dodgers MVP for a good majority of this season. Well, he has really struggled of late, and it looks like, I mean, the way you're seeing him late on fastballs and just missed fastballs that typically we've seen him get on top of, it's concerning. I think that Chris Taylor, especially now with A.J. Pollock going down, that's where it really hurts. But he's going to have to find a way to get back and put together some better at-bats, because the Dodgers are going to need him to step up with the way that Cody Bellinger continues to struggle. So if you look across this board, it's a lot of Dodgers struggling up and down this offense. But Stephen Toe hooking up with $10, my man. I appreciate you, my dude. Let's go Dodgers, always in it forever, even in losses. The hitting coach needs to go from the Red Hood. By the way, if I don't get to your take, keep coming, because I'm going to read tons of them tonight, because I know you guys are fired up and you bring those fire takes. But Mookie, you have to protect with 2 strikes. Wilfredo Cordova, that's something that I've been talking about all season is, look, you have to adapt to the way these umps have been all season. Mookie Betts, Trey Turner, Justin Turner, these guys, Max Muncy, they have some of the best strike zone awareness in the league, but these umpires have been making mistakes, and you saw the way that he was making mistakes earlier in this game for the Dodgers' favor. I agree with you from that standpoint. You got to be a little more aggressive at the plate and just find a way to try to hit one. But still, I mean, that was a bad call. I mean, that was unquestionably a ball in that situation. I do think it robs the fans because you take the bat out of his hands in a pressure situation. And look, I mean, that's what this game's all about. You want to develop your superstars, and you don't do that by calling strikes on balls in those situations. It's bad for baseball. And look, I mean, this is a sport that's competing with football and basketball, and baseball has a real problem from this standpoint, and they need to correct this issue because, look, I mean, it's a major problem. And I think that what I think they should do is I think that a coach, a manager should have a few challenges during the game where they can challenge the call. Now, we're not talking about the entire game. You can't challenge every call, but I do think a couple challenges would take a little pressure off the umpire at the end of the day, and it would change the game, because in that play right there, Dave Roberts would have challenged it, the call would have been overturned, and the at-bat would have continued. But like I said, I'm not blaming this loss on that one at-bat. I'm blaming it on the entire offense for the most part, and just the unpredictable outcome of Walker Buehler struggling the way he did. To me, that really blew my mind, to see Walker Buehler not be dominant, not be lights out in a big game. You don't see that with this pitcher, and we're going to get into his outing, but I want to get some more of your takes. These guys are on fire. So too many slumping hitters right now. Exactly. They're not winning the NL West. Effing hate the Giants. Amen. The sponge. We got Juan Carlos. We got A-Rod said it best. Hit it hard, not far. Yeah, I mean, old Loopy Taylor. Giants always seem to win it more than the Dodgers. Taylor needs a break. Muncy needs a break. Belly needs to go to AAA. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people tell me that. Hey, man, one way to go to AAA. But, hey, how are you going to do that with A.J. Pollock out for at least 2-3 weeks at best at this point? So, I mean, who else are you going to put in there? Send Belly to AAA. Chris Taylor looks like Belly now with the at-bat. Look, if you look at Belly's numbers and Chris Taylor's numbers since August 1st, they're really not far off. I mean, Chris Taylor has more strikeouts. Belly has more home runs. And, yeah, I mean, we got to keep it real. You know how I like to do it. Bring my facts to the fight. Don't let facts get in the way of my feelings. And here we go. Scott, hey, D-Mac, on a plane in Denver and got to watch this in the airport. Great time to be a Dodger fan. Not. Yeah, this one hurts. Diane, hate losing. Damn crap. Rose, two great teams. That play, a fair game with no cheating. It was fun watching them play against each other. Dodgers and Giants are awesome. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a take that I can get behind for sure, is that you saw in a year when they were trying to force feed us this fake Padres and Dodgers rivalry that never existed, their little brother at best, you saw this rivalry get reignited. But on the same token, the Padres, if they find a way to get in that wild card game and the race for the second, they're right there in first. They still have the top spot ahead of the Reds now. Hey, any team can beat any team in one game. So as much smack as we talk about the Padres, if they play the Dodgers in one game, why even have a preview show for one game when it comes to baseball? Yes, of course, you can make your best guesses and your educated guesses, and I tend to do that myself. But, I mean, I'm just telling you, anything can happen in a baseball game when it comes to just one game. When it's do or die like that, you never know. But Robles fans, great point. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, it is bad for baseball that you see these blown calls in these situations. These games could be extended. These good games could be more epic. You could have superstars continue to develop and become part of the national stage. Let's say Mookie Betts hits a home run there and ties the game. That thing's blown up on social media. You see it on Twitter and Instagram, and then more people say, oh, Mookie Betts, the coolest guy. He's got the chain. He's got the Jordans. I want to watch baseball now. But no, baseball is baseball's worst enemy for a lot of different reasons. But hey, to me, it's still the greatest sport ever invented. It's just not being ran correctly, and not being ran correctly, particularly in the modern era. But Fangraph is on meth. We got let the players bad conditions rest. I mean, there was no really time to rest. I mean, they're in a stretch of 13 games in 13 days. So Giants is a fastball hitting team, and Walker only has a fastball. Victor Burnett, that is just not true at all whatsoever when you look at Walker Buehler. If you look at him this season, he's throwing his heater 45.2. That was a good point about the fastball and not being as effective with the fastball, that's for sure. And that's one thing that stood out to me when it came to Walker Buehler's outing, because his shortest outing of the year, right? He has going 3 innings, gives up 6 runs on 7 hits, had 1 punch out, just 5 swings and miss, and you didn't see that electricity. You didn't see that pinpoint command from Walker Buehler. You also saw him throw that fastball about 19% of the time. His season average is about 45.2%. So he didn't have that supreme confidence in that butane Walker Buehler heater that we're used to seeing. But, I mean, look at his other pitches this year. I mean, he's throwing that cutter, which belted for a home run early in the game. When was that? I think it was a fastball, actually. Gotta look back on that one, but yeah. Let's see. Top of the bottom of the first inning, belt homered, middle of the he left it a little first pitch fastball, middle of the play. Like I said, 1-0 Giants. Did use that changeup to strike out Bryant, but when he's at his best, that fastball, no question, is a major weapon for him. And you see him reach up there and get 95, 97, 98. Today, that fastball was down a tick. So that was something that I was concerned about. I mean, if you saw today, the fastest fastball he threw today was 95.7 miles per hour, and that was down 1 miles per hour. So, if you look at the average, I'm sorry, it was 94.3. And then the max velo was 95.7. So if you look across the board, velo was down on his changeup, his slider, his sinker, his knuckle curve, and yeah, the swings and miss. 25 swings, just 5 whiffs on those swings. He threw 53 pitches. They're 5 foul balls off those pitches. So yeah, it just was not his best day. And I'm still confident Walker Buehler moving forward. And every pitcher is due to have a bad day. It's something that you would never expect from a pitcher of his magnitude, especially when you consider everything that's on the line, not just from a team standpoint, but individually. I don't care what any athlete says in a post-game press conference or a pre-game press conference about it being the team, about it being about wins. No, when these individual accolades are at stake, especially when it's a Cy Young Award, these players know, and they want those awards very badly. Talk about Kershaw. What do you want to say about Kershaw? I mean, he should be back soon, but that is not what this show is about. But we can is your show. Kershaw, we're going to need him. That's what we're going to do. We're going to need Clayton Kershaw to come back fresh and re-energized and contributing to this Dodgers rotation. As bad as we played and Buehler pitched, this was still a winnable game. That's from Roy Estrada over on YouTube. Yeah, I mean, there was countless opportunities throughout. Dodgers just couldn't cash in, and late in the game there, Pujols comes up, hits that bomb, cuts the lead, cuts the lead down to 2, makes it a 6-4 game, and at that point you really start to feel that with Jake McGee on the mound, considering the saves he's blown, that the Dodgers really had him on the ropes and were putting the pressure on him. But the bad call there and just not great at-bats all day and really all series for this Dodgers team. But call up Beatty, McKinstry, CT3, Muncy needs a rest. Bench Belly, give Beatty a shot over Bellinger. Yeah, Matt Beatty, a guy who has those bat-to-ball skills, a guy who when he's making contact, he's hitting rocket shots. Look, he's the hitman, right? He is the hitman. And with this lack of offense, and just the inability to put the ball in play at times, he would be someone that I would want to see get a real opportunity. I don't know if there's friction between him and Dave Roberts and the organization, but there's just something that we don't know about Matt Beatty at this point and the organization, because if you look at his numbers, and yes, is he a defensive liability? There's no question he is, but I will take what he can do with the stick and sacrifice something on defense when you look at how much this offense is struggling as a whole, with Muncy and Chris Taylor and Bellinger really struggling, and the Dodgers' best hitter in the second half, A.J. Pollock, now down with a hamstring injury. So a lot to address, and the Dodgers are going to have to dig deep and win some big games, because St. Louis is another team that's fighting for their playoff lives as well. Good news, they got Max Scherzer on the mound, but here we go, back in the comment section. We got Leo ZZ Top. Butane's bad outing proves one thing, he's human. Craig Osterberg, Walker should have pitched yesterday. I mean, I think it was fine. We look at Julio and Scherzer, how they were playing it. So, look, I mean, I don't feel too bad about that, really. But stop blaming the umpires. We got outplayed. I'm not, like I said, everything is a little more nuanced. It's not cut and dry like blame the umpires, that's why we lost. But I'm just saying as a whole, it's a factor. It's bad for baseball, and not just the Dodgers. When other teams get a hose, like if the same thing happened to the Giants in that situation, it was Chris Bryant, and they got squeezed, it would still be bad for baseball. That was my point. It's not that this whole entire loss is blamed on the Dodgers, blamed on the umpires. Did I say that once during the show? The answer to that is no. So I don't know what you're talking about. Marco Castro, I feel you. The umps being bad against the Dodgers all year. Yep. Julio gets all the run support. Yeah, I mean, definitely a factor. I mean, run support is a thing. I mean, that's definitely why. You see, that's why you got those 16 wins, and a big part of that is the run support. There's no question about it. But look, I mean, Walker Buehler's a guy that will tell you that he's a guy that is confident in his stuff, and he'll want to go out there and dominate. But have to give the Giants, this is from Joseph Megazzini, have to give the Giants their due. They were playing to win. Those bunts against the shift were baller. Yeah, I mean, as they point out in the broadcast, using the bunts in that situation, to me, I would really admire their look, I mean, they're a lot like the Dodgers in a lot of ways when it comes to the slugging. When it comes to the Giants in losses, they're towards the bottom of the league too when it comes to fewest runs scored in losses. So these teams mirror each other in a lot of ways, but I agree with you, Joseph Megazzeni. When things aren't working offensively and you just continue to go up there and you see big swings and you see quick 1, 2, 3 innings, it doesn't hurt. Let's just say that, right? Dodgers 0 need to stay more consistency. So yes, or a shout out to Tio for keeping us in it. Yeah, Albert Pujols, he provided that spark, went up there, hit 668, an all-time legend. And I thought that was going to be the beginning of something, especially when you get the break with the Austin Barnes ground ball that ended up being an error on Chris Bryant. You got to just capitalize on those opportunities. Even with David Price, he escapes that bases loaded jam. I mean, there were a lot of times in this game where I said, look, the Dodgers found a way to get through that, at least make this interesting. They did make it interesting, but they couldn't find a way to tie it late. But Wilfredo Cordova, the ump, was bad for both teams. Like I said, Moose 10-32. Dodgers score early and take the rest of the game off. We go down to easy the majority of the game. Yeah, I mean, yes, I mean, for sure. There's no question about it that that is an issue for the Dodgers. And then, I mean, you want to see you want to see this team find a way. If they get punched, if they take a hit, you want to punch back. And their Dodgers have been taking some haymakers this season. In a lot of games, we've seen them not get themselves off the mat and punch back. But I think today there was fight in this team. There's no question about it. Just couldn't get that big hit late. And, the Dodgers, they're a really good front-running team. They're 63-18 when they score first. So that's always really the kicker for this squad. Also, just getting those hits. I mean, they're 62-14 when they out-hit their opponent. So today you saw this Dodger team, just their inability to cash in on base runners. 9 left on base for the Dodgers today. And, it was a big loss. Make no mistake about it. They had a real opportunity to get some momentum because now the Giants they have Gausman going in Colorado, but we do know Colorado is the best. Really, they're so great at home. But yeah, Dodgers out hit today 10-6. They get 1 in the second, 1 in the fifth, and 2 in the ninth, but just could not cash in. But Bed and Co's $4.99. Hook it up, my man. Appreciate you, dude. Dodgers hit by the A-Rod curse again. Yeah, hey, man, I'm cool with that. Let's blame this whole loss on A-Rod for sure. Yeah, man, I just mute it. And I listen to my man Charlie Steiner and Rick Monday and the gang. But, Diane Schroeder, it's pretty shocking that Buehler was so lackluster today considering the importance of this game. Absolutely. I mean, and this is not really a knock on Buehler necessarily because, look, he's been fantastic all season long. I mean, without Walker Buehler, this team isn't sniffing first place in the NL West. He has carried this Dodger team. He hasn't surpassed his innings count that he pitched in 2019. But, look, fatigue has got to be a factor for him as well. And today, 3 innings, that's all he went. And on the season, he just didn't have that electricity in his fastball. He didn't have that signature ability to just get out of jams and try to limit the damage. And it was really interesting to see his pitch mix. Like I said, just 90% fastballs. But heading into this start, 28 starts on this season for Walker Buehler. He's gone 5+ innings in 27 of his starts this season, 6+ innings in 26 of his 27 starts this season. So heading into today, he had never gone less than 5 innings in a game. And in August, he was on fire, 2-1 with a 1.56 ERA. His career against the Giants, he was 7-0 with a 1.83 ERA, 69 punch-outs in 12 games. This year against the Giants, he was 3-0 with a .79 ERA, 32 strikeouts in 5 starts. And in 7 games in his career at Oracle Park, he was 6-0 with a 2.17 ERA and 43 strikeouts in 37 1/3 innings pitched. So, I like to say, you got to be some kind of psycho to be a baseball fan. Because, look, we can do the previews. We can dive into the numbers. We can break down every single metric we want to. But baseball will give you results that you never expected. And today was one of them. And that is 3 innings from Walker Buehler. But we will still win the division by 3. Mark my words, Steve Jettiva. How about that, man? Let's get all of our predictions. Each and every one of you guys watching this show, Will how many games will the Dodgers win the NL West by, or how many games will they lose the NL West by? I just want your predictions. I want to see how Dodgers Nation is feeling right about now after dropping the season the regular season finale to the San Francisco Giants. They made a run late, couldn't get it done, and now sit a game behind the Giants in the NL West. But here we go. The bats have been cold, but surprise at Buehler's outing. Pujols got to be here next year, way better than Rayleigh, Noisy, and Bellinger. We get Giants fans here to play in October. Okay, Giants could have never let us down. Let's get back to these. Not sure why Aroyd is the commentator. He's the definition of a cheater. Plus, he is a wimp. Buehler is human, no Pollock. Yeah, that hurts. Belly is still hurt. We got Jin Rumi with the Band-Aid. DJ Jesse, Dodgers look tired and flying to St. Louis. And yeah, that's really what you would call a schedule loss too. You got a quick day game tomorrow against St. Louis on Labor Day. The Dodgers are going to have to get it together, and maybe a quick start could help them just find a way to focus and get the job done tomorrow, because that's a tough one to take, losing 2 out of 3 to your arch rivals. And Friday and Sunday comes down to a replay at the end. They lose both games. But here we go. Puig, it's time. Watching Bellinger hit is so painful. That's from Joe Onhia. Hope that helps. A-Rod lost J-Lo. Mario Mendoza hits better than than Bellinger. Here we go. Here's your predictions. Diane Schroeder says, win the NOS by 2. Alex Renteria, win the NOS by 2. Buehler just had a bad game. Irene Wade, positive the Dodgers win division by 2. Cheryl Allensworth over on Facebook, why can't Roberts get Bellinger to bunt up the third base line? Do something, anything productive. So frustrating to watch. Come on, Dodgers, pick it up. Anthony Keene, I'm on the fence, bro. We'll win or lose within 2 games. Hey, man. We got the hedge master over here. I need a concrete prediction, Anthony Keene. Come on now. Starting pitcher sets the tone from Denise, Muncy to second, and Turner to center field. Look, I mean, Chris Taylor has looked a little dicey in center field. So and Trey Turner with those 4 errors at second base in the overthrow that really cost them a chance to win on Friday night. Maybe that's something you do consider with A.J. Pollock missing considerable time now. I'm just hoping they can find a way to get him back with at least a couple regular season games to find a rhythm before the postseason. You just hate to have that with A.J. Pollock, considering he has been the Dodgers' best hitter in the second half of the season, and for him to go down the way he did, and you always hear the talk about A.J. Pollock is that he's glass man, that he gets injured. Well, you just really feel for him in that situation. But Dodgers need Beatty. Hey, man, I would love to see him come up and hit. I mean, I want to come up and hit me, Beatty, one more time, right? Dodgers need Beatty. I'm sure Mario Mendoza is happy now because Bellinger can't even hit 200. Yeah, I mean, look, the thing, and yeah, I mean, we're gonna break down this game in a second here about, yeah, I mean, the ball early on in the second where it goes off the wall. That was, I think Bellinger may have lost that a little bit there in that situation. But yeah, he did barehand it, and really it wasn't too crippling. But defensively, he does have that range, man. He is the Range Rover out there, and yeah. But yeah, I mean, make no mistake about it. He is struggling. He is coming off 2 injuries, and at some point, he's got to turn around or you got to weigh some other options. But I think the whole idea is just to find a way to get him serviceable and take advantage of his elite defense when he's in there. But if you look at Cody Bellinger, in his last 27 games, has a 520 OPS. Now, if you look at Chris Taylor in his last 25 games, he has a 580 OPS. Okay? If you look at the last 25 games for Chris Taylor, 38 strikeouts. Last 27 games for Cody Bellinger, 29 strikeouts. If you look at the RBIs, Bellinger has more RBIs and he has more home runs than Chris Taylor. So you got to bring, and that's in 89 at-bats for Cody Bellinger and 92 for Chris Taylor. So you got to bring your facts to the fight, and if you're going to be hard on Bellinger, you also have to keep it real and keep that same energy when it comes to Chris Taylor, because he has had his struggles as well. And yeah, just trying to keep those facts up. But I'll ride or die with this team. We win the division by 2. That's what I need, Anthony Keene. You know I'm keen on the details, and I like it. Win the game by 1, Joe Carrezo. Free Beatty. Giants will get eliminated in the wild card. Robbie Lux, yeah, I'm not really concerned. I mean, I know this will be on the internet forever, but I just don't see this Giants team as a real World Series contender, especially if you have Jake McGee going out there getting your final 3 outs in a tight one, guy going out there throwing straight heaters. Guys are going to catch up in the postseason when that adrenaline is flowing. So I'm not concerned about that, but to me, the wild card, it keeps me up at night. I'm telling you guys, I'm not sleeping great lately, and that is because of the wild card. My man Steven Toe hooking up with 1669. I really appreciate you, my dude. That's what's up. That's lunch money for like a week, man. Here we go. Belly, world-class defense. Did you see some misplays early in the innings? Yeah, I just mentioned that, but as a whole, are you really trying to have the debate that he's not one of the better outfielders in the league? I mean, come on now. We could say we want about Bellinger, but he'll make plays that will appear difficult for some other guys, and with his range, he can cover a lot of territory. Now, but look, you can't justify the stick. Yeah, I mean, like I said, he's not the only guy that is struggling at the moment. But yeah, I mean, I understand he's going to be a punching bag, especially when you consider the player he once was. And look, last 13 games, he's hitting 132. Hear about this. In their last 43 at-bats, Chris Taylor is hitting 188. Cody Bellinger, last 38 at-bats, he's hitting 132. So, look, I mean, Max Muncy, his last 12 games, he's hitting 136. Mookie Betts, last 10 games, he's hitting 152. So, you got to kind of go across the board right here. And, look, Trey Turner, he's hitting well, but he hasn't been fantastic. Really, the only guy who's hitting really well right now is Corey Seager, and then Will Smith is also hitting well too. So, but unfortunately, Will Smith had some opportunities, couldn't capitalize. On Friday night, he had the runner on third a couple different times, couldn't bring him home, and then you saw tonight the bases loaded, was able to get that walk. Really should have been a strike, though. Why is McKinney... yes, Muncy has struggled this series. Why is McKinney still wearing that uniform? EB, I'm riding with Taylor. He's been passed up on the lineup too many times, and he's been clutch in this season, just hitting a rough patch right now. Bellinger is the problem, EB. I mean, yes, that's true, but I mean, it's more than a rough patch to Chris Taylor, if we're being completely honest. It's been a minute now that he hasn't really been the player he was in the first 3 months of the season. But the whole team can hit. Buehler didn't have it in the second inning, only 1 run. Yeah, let's get into this game a little bit. A couple more takes here, though, guys. By the way, if you have not made your prediction, how many games will the Dodgers win or lose the division by? I want your takes down below in the comment section. I still think we win the division by, I'm going to say 2 games. I still think we do. I'm pretty married to this prediction. Like, I mean, after we got walked off, after we blew the 2 straight games to the Giants, I promised we'd win the division. After the no-hitter to the Cubs, I promised we win the division. So there's really no turning back for now for me. I really have no choice, so I just hope it goes our way. If not, hopefully we go to the wild card and we make some noise there. But remember, though, Mookie was playing hurt from the start of the season. Oh, yeah, I'm not pinning this on Mookie Betts at all. I'm just saying that I'm not pinning this on Mookie Betts at all whatsoever. I'm just saying that across the board, you have guys, this offense has been anemic a lot of games out there, and they need to find a way to just be more consistent at the plate, and we're seeing that rear its ugly head in losses. But here we go. We got Bellinger, still has that long swing for the fences. I think with him, to me, it's a timing thing. He does look like, just looks discombobulated at the plate, and then it's not that he's not putting it in the air. I mean, last year you're seeing more ground balls than him putting in the air. He's putting it in the air again. He's just not hitting it hard, and that is the issue. He's not barreling up enough pitches. He's late. You saw the strikeout today, fastball up in the zone. The scouting report is out on Bellinger. He needs to find adjustments, and I think it's too late in the season to make some major do a major overhaul of that swing. But he's got to find a way just to get that timing back, to get that explosion back. But any conversation with him, you really have to mention that shoulder surgery because it's a factor. I mean, do you really think that Cody Bellinger's numbers would be identical right now had he not had that shoulder surgery, had he not had that hairline fracture in his fibula? I'm asking you a question. I personally don't think. Since August 2019, he's hitting just above 200, so he was actually struggling towards the second half of his MVP season, or just not playing elite all-star caliber baseball together as far as from a hitting standpoint. And in 2020, he had his struggles as well. Let's not forget, though, without Cody Bellinger, the drought might still be on. In fact, I'm pretty confident in saying that without Cody Bellinger last year, the Dodgers don't win the World Series. So let's also take that into account, too. Robbing Fernando Tatis Jr. You saw he did another rob job in the World Series. So he's made so many highlight plays. And, of course, the second biggest home run in franchise history behind Kirk Gibson's is Game 7, where that goes as the winning home run. But here we go. I will give McKinney a ride away myself. If it doesn't mean he doesn't have to hit over Beatty, back up T1. I am on board. I am on the Beatty bus, if we want to call it that. I would like to see him get an opportunity. I definitely want to see him at the big league level, especially when you consider this offense's issues with just getting base hits at certain times. So I'm with you 100% on that. Oh, Diane Schroeder hooking up with $20. Jeez, hopefully this covers 2 micheladas at the game. Hey, you guys, I'm about to cop a mansion on this one, but Dodgers will win by 3. Appreciate the Nitro. Agreed, Joe Belly, cut your hair. Yeah, I don't know why. Just do something, man. Baseball players are a creature of habit. Cut the hair. Cut the mustache. Change your routine. You got to switch it up because, it's just look, man, he's rocking the mullet. I am at my boy, Mr. Brooks Smith, one of the senior editors here at Dodgers Nation. He has one of the sickest mullets I've ever seen, so I ain't hating on mullets. Party in the, business in the front, party in the back, but, I mean, you just got to switch it up. But here we go. Will be unstoppable once offense is fully healthy. Bellinger needs a reset / adjustments. And that's the thing about Bellinger that he talked about in his MVP season was making those in-game adjustments. And you saw, of course, they made some changes to how much footage you could get and how you could access that. But, yeah, I mean, he does look lost at the plate sometimes. Sometimes it looks like he can't hit sand if he fell off a camel, right? And shout out to Major League, too. But yeah, it's unfortunate to see, but look, I mean, tonight, why'd the Dodgers lose in a nutshell? Well, it starts with that rough start from Walker Buehler, and let's start to break this game down. So bottom of the first inning, LaStella grounds out to first for the first out, and then Brandon Belt, he homers to right, first pitch fastball, bottom of the zone, and just kind of caught too much of the plate there, and that made it 1-0 Dodgers, and then top of the second, Justin Turner, he banged a slider into left field for a leadoff single. Seager walks, giving L.A. runners on first and second, no outs. And then Will Smith singled to center, scoring Justin Turner from second to tie things up at 1 apiece. And then Smith and Seager, they moved up on that Littell wild pitch, giving the Dodgers runners on first and second with 1 out. And then Chris Taylor, he pops to short. So bad at bat right there from Chris Taylor, just a pop up to short. And then Belly, he struck out, swinging a high fastball for the second out, and then Walker Buehler, he struck out swinging. So unfortunately, not all pitchers can hit like Justin Turner, who's one of the best hitting pitchers of all time, but he strikes out, and the Dodgers a real opportunity to get some big runs in that inning. They tied things up, but they had runners on second and third, no outs, and could only get 1 run, the base hit from Will Smith. Then bottom of the third inning, the leadoff walk on 4 pitches. That's when I was like, okay, something's up with Butane. We've seen leadoff walks in big games, and we've seen tightrope acts like the Braves where you load the bases and get out of it, but he walks Crawford on 4 pitches, and it came back to bite him. Yaz doubled to deep center, and it looked like Belly kind of lost it for a second. It was hazy, had the sun. He didn't take the best route on it. It bounces off the wall. He barehands it, makes that throw in, and that gives the Giants runners on first and second, no out. So if he makes that play somehow, maybe things are different, and Walker kind of starts to settle in, but wasn't the case. So the next batter on a 1-1 pitch, Duggar, he tripled to right, scoring Crawford and Yaz, making it 3-1 Giants. And that cutter inside, he kind of hung it up there. And then LaStella, he flies to right, Belt, ground to shortstop. So they get 3 runs on 3 hits in that inning. 21 pitches for Buehler in the second, just 2 swings and misses. So bring Lux back. If you guys want to see Gavin Lux back, bring back Beatty from Oklahoma. Never downplay Belly's great defense. Augustine, I think I'm one of the biggest advocates for that. How would they be cheating? Oh, do you guys believe that the Giants are in a cheating scandal? That'd be interesting. I mean, hey, it's not like they didn't do it before 1951. 1951, Bobby Thompson shot her around the world. Here we go. We got Isaiah Belly cuts his hair. He starts hitting. Isn't it weird how baseball is like one of the only sports where you say something like that and it kind of makes sense. I don't know why. It's just something about baseball. You're like, yeah, man. Maybe they should just – maybe when Belly's asleep, they should sneak in his hotel room with the clippers and just buzz it off, just and just give him the buzz cut Belly, and maybe things will be different, man. I don't know. Belly bald equals home run. Mr. Klay Thompson got revenge for his brother getting DFA'd by the Dodgers. Interesting take. I like that, though. He was chilling at the Masters, bucket hat on. I want to see Klay back on the court. Everyone pitches Belly the same because he doesn't make any adjustments. Fire Roberts. Can't have a post-game show without a Fire Roberts take. Belly takes bong rips between innings. That's from Adam over on YouTube. We got Alex Renteria. Bottom of the first cost us the game. Getting the lead in that inning would have switched the momentum. Yeah, I mean, you see how well this team does play with early leads. They had opportunities early on to capitalize and put up big runs, but it just didn't happen. And here we go. We are going to see the Dodgers tomorrow whip the Redbirds, then drive home to see future Hall of Famer Kershaw show his stuff in OKC. Man, this is from Kenny Schwab. Kenny Schwab, you have a fantastic week ahead of you, man. Hey, man, down a cold one for me, man, because you're about to have some fun. And then we got I agree, Fire Roberts' prediction right now. He will leave Jansen in there too long and will lose a playoff game because of that. Believe that. Well, look, I mean, right now, Dave Roberts has never not won the division. He's won the division each year as Dodgers manager, and if he pulls this off, I think it'd be really that in 2018, two of his best managerial runs as considering all the adversity, considering the injuries. But we'll see. Still a lot of baseball to be played as far as when you're talking about a one-game deficit in the division. But Cody swings just as hard. His shoulder just isn't hitting. Yeah. So bottom of the third, he misses middle to Wade. He hits a ground rule double. Then Crawford doubles down the right field line. That makes it 5-1 San Francisco. Then Casale, he bangs a breaking ball into left. And then top of the fifth inning. So top of the fifth inning, Trey Turner, he grounded to the pitcher for the first out. Then Muncy struck out swinging. Then Mookie gets a base hit, and then Justin Turner, he draws a walk, and then Corey Seager, he draws a walk. So they had the bases loaded, 2 outs, and then Will Smith, he takes what looked like strike 3 from Duvall, and it's called a ball by the home plate umpire. And the Dodgers, they're able to get a run on that. So that made it 6-2. And then Chris Taylor on a 3-2 count. He strikes out swinging, was late on that 98-mile-per-hour fastball. So Dodgers, another missed opportunity, 2 outs, and they were only able to get 1 run out of it. Then the top of the 9th inning, you saw what happened there. Barnes, Barnes comes in, and he's able to reach base, and that's all you really want. And then Pujols, he hits the home run, but Dodgers just come up short in the end. After that, they just were unable to, after the bad call with the Betts striking out looking, and then Justin Turner, he fouls out to end the game. So they get 2 runs and 2 hits in that inning. But yeah, if you look at this, Giants offense, I mean, they get the 2 runs in the bottom of the they get the 2 runs in the bottom of the third, and that made it 5-1. And then they were able to add another one late there. So yeah, Dodgers, a tough loss. It's going to be like, this one is going to come down to the wire. Make no mistake about it. This season just feels like the way these two franchises are they're this close, this late into the season, being this close. It's only happened a handful of times, like the 5th time that this has happened after 136 games with these two franchises. It hasn't been this close this late since 1997. Shout out to Brian Johnson for ruining my childhood. Yeah, it's going to be a fight to the finish, and hopefully Dodgers can have a big week, because this Cardinal is a 4-game set. You know it's never easy to win in St. Louis. And then you got the Rockies facing the Giants from Colorado. And then look, I mean, this week is going to be the defining week for the Dodgers. I mean, they have to stack wins. They really have to stack wins. You got a 4-game road set against you got a 4-game road set tomorrow 1:15, and then Tuesday 4:45, Wednesday 4:45, Thursday a 10:15 a.m. game, a little breakfast and baseball action there. And then you got the Dodgers hosting the Padres, who are fighting for their playoff lives. They're playing better of late, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So this is going to be a defining week for the Dodgers. You need at least, you're going to need at least five wins. What's your record prediction for the week for the Dodgers? Let me know down below in the comment section, because I think there is a chance that it could get worse before it gets better when it comes to the deficit in the NL West, and that's why this was such a big series for LA to go up there and handle their business. But on the same token, this is a tough stretch too for the Giants, because Colorado, they're a good team at home, and then they go to Chicago for a 3-game set. So they got 6 straight road games, and they play 4 at home against San Diego. So we say what we want about the Padres. It's almost good to see the Padres in the mix here at the end, really for both teams, because a lot of Padres matchups. So we'll see. I feel good about it. I feel like this team is going to refocus and realize that, look, this is postseason. This is about winning this division. You can't put yourself in a position to play in a one-game wild card game where it's do or die and anything can happen. And I think the Dodgers realize that. Dave Roberts was adamant during the broadcast that the goal and the focus is winning their 9th straight division title. But lastly, guys, let me get your record predictions for this week. Here we go. And then we will be out here. You guys can enjoy the rest of your week. So we got 7 games. They will get hot. I agree, Joe. What's up with big games? Bottom line, Bellinger and Jansen can't hang with the playoff teams. Need a better game plan if the World Series is on the table. 5-2 from Diane Schroeder. Jimmy Denson, 7-0. 3 wins against the Cards, and we sweep the Padres. 6 wins this week. That's from Steve over on Facebook. Baby Mike 1313. Giants look to have a little easier schedule, but we'll pull it out by 3 games at the end. You'll see. Hey, man, I would love that. We go 3-1 versus St. Louis from Irene. So Buehler didn't have his stuff tonight. 1 game, and he's done great otherwise. Exactly. Yeah, if you look at it, Corbin Burns gave up 3 runs in 5 innings today, so he still has that ERA lead. But there's a lot of factors, not just that. I mean, the point I'm making, he's still in the mix, and bottom line is that it's about winning this division. He'll be the first guy to tell you that, but he would definitely want that award. But Giants 10-5, Dodgers since the first sweep. Barbecue, Pujols, last time in St. Louis. Yeah, that's going to be cool to see that. I mean, he's going to give him it's going to be a nice ovation. 5-2 from Anthony Keene. Winning the West is out of your hands now. Let's hope for a winning streak. Can't hit Flaherty, Beatty, Rex. We go 1-5. Carlos, if that happens, that'll really be sad, but anything can happen. Okay, if Roberts took out Buehler, either people will be mad they didn't believe that he didn't leave him in. 5-2 from pound for pound. As of now, 10 Giants, Dodgers 9. Yeah, it is that, and I think that when you look at it, the Dodgers. Okay, I mean we'll go 5-2 this week, but 7-0. Okay, Albert needs to start. Craig Osterberg. Hey, with the home run he hit tonight, if the matchup presents itself, you'll see him have a chance to get in there, but. Let's see here. But, yeah, a couple more guys, and we'll be out of this one. But thanks for rocking with us. I know this one hurts, but I'm glad I was able to get through this one with you guys. You know that it was pure pain anytime you lose to the Giants. But hope you guys have a great Labor Day weekend. We'll be back on Tuesday. But a couple final takes here, and we'll be out of here. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMAC_LA. That's at DMAC_LA. Be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel at youtube.com/DodgersNationTV. Also, gear up at gearup.la. But here we go. Superstitious. Pollock is out for 2 months. Is that a fact? I got to check that. I don't think that's true. But Dodgers get these wins back in the playoffs. DMAC, another walk-off. Mike M, thanks, man. Have to take 3 out of 4 in St. Louis. Back up T1, 6-1. We are definitely losing that early midweek game. Worst loss, Pollock, or losing the series? I mean, I think definitely losing Pollock, no question about it. I mean, you can make up 1 game with the remainder of the schedule for the Dodgers. I have no issue with that. But Pollock also, too, you kind of don't want to hurt his rhythm, too, because he was on such a nice streak of just feeling so confident at the plate. So no question is losing Pollock. But not months. A round of applause for the umps once again, hosing the Dodgers on a called third strike. LFG Dodgers, gear up, Dodger fans. Pollock will be ready for the playoffs. Giants didn't score after Buehler was taken out. Roberts needs a quicker hook. No worries about Buehler. I mean, I think with the way that this bullpen has been taxed, I have no issue with him, and as well as also the equity and the trust that he has in Walker Buehler. But, yeah, we have to mention that before we head out of here. Brule, 2 innings of shutout, scoreless baseball, 1 punch-out, gives the 1 hit. David Price worked his way out of that jam, goes an inning and 2/3, gives up 2 hits, had the 1 punch-out. Shane Green goes an inning, a third of an inning, had the punch-out. And then Vasquez, 12 pitches, 10 punch-out, 10 strikes. So he was nice to see. But thanks again, guys, for rocking with us. See you guys next time. Appreciate you, Anthony Keene, all you guys out there. Let me know what do you guys think better. Before we get out of here, Donda or Certified Lover Boy? No, I'm just messing with you guys. But thanks again, guys. Dodgers take the loss, a game behind the Giants in the NOS. Got a big week, 7 games for your boys in blue, 4 on the road against St. Louis, and then they host the Padres for 3 at home. But a couple final takes, and we will be out of here. Dodgers finish with 3 against the Brewers. Nothing will be easy. Will the Giants collapse? Smash that like button for D-Mac and show some love. Great show, D-Mac. Thanks, guys. You guys are the best. See you guys next time. Like I said, head over to DodgersNation.com. Okay, Anthony King, we got a quick second here. Let it fly. We got tomorrow. I don't know if we're on the Blue Heaven podcast because it's Labor Day, but we will be back with you Tuesday. Okay. I got you. But thanks again, guys. You guys are the best fans in the game. You know that. Nothing brings us together quite like Dodger baseball. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
It's time for Dodger baseball.
What a catch by Mookie Betts. Another home run for Corey Seager. Another strikeout for Kershaw. A robbery of Tatis. Gone. Will Smith. This is what an ace looks like.
And tagged out is Riley, a double play.
Dodgers have won it all in 2020.